Down by side, twinkle in your eye from that neon light. What made us decide? One little slip, didn't think we'd give in to the temptation of a true love's kiss. You said that you really want me, but you didn't really want me that way. And I think that you got us into trouble when you played it super subtle that day. Didn't know whiskey works that way. Damn, we sold the red stop signs. We did it anyway. See you confused, poor you. I got a real good sense of who you turned into. Now you're sober, hungover, heart broke, it's all over. I didn't know whiskey could have worked that way. Maybe you shouldn't have said it if you knew that you'd regret it. Baby, I'ma bet you that you're kicking yourself. Tried so many times to catch your eye. The one damn time we couldn't even get it right. I think that you got us into trouble when you played it super subtle that day. Didn't know whiskey works that way. Damn, we sold the red stop signs. We did it anyway. See you confused, poor you. I got a real good sense of who you turned into. Now you're sober, hungover, heart broke, it's all over. I didn't know whiskey could have worked that way. I didn't know whiskey works that way. I didn't know whiskey worked that way. I didn't know whiskey worked that way. Damn, we sold the red stop signs. We did it anyway. See you confused, poor you. I got a real good sense of who you turned into. You saw my hungover, heart broke, it's all over. I didn't know whiskey could have worked that way. Now you're sober, hungover, heart broke, it's all over. I didn't know whiskey could have worked that way.
Briana, welcome to Pop Rock Radio. How are you?
I'm good, Paul. How are you?
I'm really, really, really good. Now, I've got to explain something to you. I spoke to Ken. Is Ken your dad?
Yes.
Yep. I spoke to him via email the other day, and something, I don't know if he told you or not, so we're going to have a quick talk about it anyway, is that going back, oh, I don't know, a year, just over a year ago, maybe a bit longer, we got an email asking to like put some music onto our radio station, and at the time we didn't do country music, and yeah, we didn't do country music, so I sent a reply back saying, oh look, thanks for the submission, but we don't actually play country music, and basically left it at that. And then along came another lady not long afterwards, who I was talking to. She has her own record label over the east, and she does country music. And I said, well, hey, I'm getting a lot of people asking me to put country music on. How about we set up a pop rock country, and she can look after it, and I can look after pop rock radio, and we can have a country radio station as well. And she said, yeah, rightio, let's do it. And from you sending that, or your dad sending that email in, it triggered us to set up Pop Rock Country.
That is amazing. Yeah, Dad did tell me a bit about that, and I
Yeah.
think that's the coolest thing ever because, country is becoming the next big thing in this
Yeah.
country, ironically. And
It's definitely taking over the world, in fact.
Yeah,
So appreciate that so much, and what an honor it is for Dad. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It was like great. We're like, oh yeah. So because the music that we put on pop rock radio, like your music is on pop rock country. Sorry, so it has been getting picked up and being played. It's amazing. It's great. So
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you
yeah,
for that.
but you're here to talk about the little sign that whiskey worked this way. Your new single. How's it going?
It's going good. I am over the moon with what people are thinking of it.
Yep.
And, the point of music for me is to do it because I love it and to make
Yep.
music that people will love.
Yep.
The playlisting and the radio and all that is honestly just a little side thing and something that's also really exciting and a dream come true to be able to do. But in reality, at the end of the day, it's the fans and the listeners that keep you going in your career. And so being able to hear that people are really loving it makes me really happy.
Yep.
And yeah, it was such a joy to create and put out.
Yeah. So the video clip's only is new, isn't it? It's brand new. It's only been out a couple of days.
Yeah, it actually came out last night as we're recording this,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking that people are really liking it. And I got to do it with one of my best mates. His name is Sean O'Brien. He
Yep.
directed it. He's got the most incredible visionary brain. And one of his friends, Ben Pascoe, shot it. And it was just the two of them on the team. And then I had a few of my friends from university as extras and a man named Bruno Nico who played the lead. And it was just a magical evening. We were in there for probably 8 hours. And it was such a fun shoot, and to have a bunch of my best friends in there with me was also really fun.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. It's even better when it's enjoyable and you enjoy doing it because it does shine through. You do see it actually come through, so it's good. So has it been picked up on many stations, like commercial stations, or of the country?
For the video, I'm not sure yet.
Or for
We're
the
in
song?
the process of finding out.
I mean, for the song itself,
and
yeah.
Oh, for the song, yeah. We've got a few stations that have picked it up, which has been really cool. And thanks to you guys as well. I appreciate that. And, it's on a bunch of country stations, but I've had a few non-country stations pick it up too, which is really, really cool. And overseas as well.
Yeah.
I think the most random country we've got is Ireland, which is, I didn't even know they listen to country music over there, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm stoked about that.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's really good because I know all through Europe, pop rock country gets listened to all around the world. It's great. So if you get
that's awesome. It's just the biggest genre in the world right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going right off. It's going crazy, and I'm going to get into trouble, but it really disappoints me, and I get upset when people like Beyonce release an album and call it country, and they don't have to do it.
It's so interesting you say that because personally, I think anyone is welcome into the industry because we've had people from our industry cross into theirs and like other genres. And, it was definitely a jump shock for a lot of people to see that was happening. And whilst the album might not be fully like traditional country, it's definitely got those country elements. But, you hear it and you're like, this is definitely not the country we're used to, but it's also like a new style of country, which is becoming very common as well. So, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. I saw some of you see some of the photos and press shots and album covers, and I just think it's just not appropriate for country music, but that's just me. I'm just getting old, I suppose.
I think everyone's had their opinions on it for sure. It's just been a big shock to the industry.
Yeah. All right. I've got some technical questions, and then we'll get into the fun ones. How's that?
Sure. Alrighty. Sounds great.
First technical question. What's the best thing about performing?
Oh, very technical. I think the best thing about performing for me is being able to do it with some of my best friends. My band are some of my best friends in the whole world, and having them by my side up there is super exciting and something I'll never ever take for granted, for sure. It's probably my highlight, being able to bounce off their energy.
Yep. All right, next question. Where is the best place to perform, and why is it so good?
I think so far in my experience, one of my favorite places to have performed is the Gympie Music Muster.
Yep.
I love the Gympie Muster. It is so much fun. We're playing there again this year, so I think it's going to be super exciting as well. And I've actually never played there with my band, so it'll be our first band set So it's kind of like in conjunction to the last question. So it's going to be a
Yeah.
2 and 1. I'm excited.
Cool. If you could perform with one other personal band from any time period, who would it be? Oh, excuse me.
Probably Keith Urban.
Yep.
He has like inspired me since I was a little girl. He's right there.
Yeah.
Oh, other way.
I'm just.
The camera flip. I'm like, which way is it in here? He's on my wall over here. He's like
Now,
my number one inspiration for songwriting and performing and everything.
Yeah. A quick segue then out of the questions. We'll come
Yeah.
back to them. In 2022, you were recognised and awarded the prestigious Keith Urban Scholarship to the CMAA Academy of Country Music. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. How wicked is that?
It's very cool. I
Yeah.
hear those words. I go, wow, that's really cool. Thanks.
So
to the
tell us about it.
CMAA.
Tell us all about it. What happened?
It's like a real interesting thing because I had been wanting to go at that point to the academy for a long time since I was a little girl. And there were so many reasons why I just could not get there every year. And one day, Sam Phillips, who works for the academy, called me up, and I was in grade 12 at the time, and I was at school, and I did a cheeky on the phone at school, which wasn't allowed, but I was like, got to take a phone
It's
call.
work. Yeah.
And yeah, it is. And luckily, actually very grateful, my school was very supportive of it. And I answered, and she was like, hey, this is Sam from the academy. She was like, are you still interested in doing the academy? I was like, yeah, of course I am. I just really just can't afford it, like in so many different ways right now, but it's in my goals to get there. And she was like, oh, okay, well, we could probably send you there next year. I think that we would really love to offer you the Keith Urban Scholarship and support from the CMAA and Keith Urban's team. And I just broke into tears. I was like, there is no way that out of anyone in the country industry in Australia that hasn't gone to the academy yet or is getting the option to go again, that they chose me. I was gobsmacked, and I was freshly 18, and you had to be 18 to go to the academy. So I was very in shock, and the fact that Keith Urban and his team were a part of the decision and the funding and everything is just, I will never get over it, to say the least. It is very special to me, that
so
award.
What happened there? What did you do? What did you learn?
So the academy is, people call it like the college for country music in Australia, because it is like what a lot of different artists in the country music scene in Australia go through. Like Troy Cassar-Daley went to it, Lee Kernaghan, like the McClymonts. Everyone has been through the academy, and it's just like a learning curve of knowing all the stuff behind the scenes of the industry, and it's like a gateway almost to knowing more people, knowing more skills and everything. And honestly, it was the best 10 days of my life. I met some of my best friends there, and I'd go back any day.
Yep.
Any day I'd go back.
I'll tell you what I like about the Australian music industry is that people like Keith Urban, and in the pop industry over here in WA, you've got people like Cav Temple. They give back to the future artists coming up. They take the rewards and they give back, and it's amazing. I think in our country we're pretty blessed to have musicians like that. So we'll get back to
definitely. It's such an Aussie thing, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, we'll get back to the questions. Have you developed any bad habits or superstitions since you started recording music?
I don't think so. I think the only superstitions I've had is just like, why are people so good at playing instruments? Like, I have never understood. I've been playing piano since I was like 4 years old, but I feel like I've been at the same skill level since I was like 12. Like, everything is just kind of the same. I'll pick up a few little licks here and there on piano and guitar. But people who can like shred the guitar, I'm like, how? How do you do that? I know it's not really a superstition, but I've never really understood it. Like when I recorded Whiskey, for example, in Nashville, the drummer got it in one take after hearing it once on the demo, which wasn't even a proper recording. It was like an acoustic version. Got it in one take and was like done. And I'm like, are you real? How'd you do that?
I know, it's crazy. Hey, I've got a guitar, and I don't play it all the time as much as I should. I'm busy doing other things, but I can only do 2 chords. I'm not quite at the 4 chords in the truth yet, but I'll get there.
Almost. Just flip the shape a little bit and you'll be there.
All right. Of all of your songs that you've written so far, which one is your favourite?
I've got a song that's not out yet, but it's
Yep.
coming out in a few months, called Real Time Love, which is very special to me. I wrote it with my sister and Steve Dean in
Yep.
Nashville. I think that's up there, but then also another song that I wrote for my sister for her 18th
Yep.
birthday called One Half of Two. And I think I'll record it in the future. I'm just finding the right moment
Yep.
and everything to get it out. But I played it for her on her 18th birthday, and it was just a very special moment. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
everything in that song is like a true story, and
Yeah.
it's one I'll hold in my heart forever, I think.
That's cool. That's really good. Oh yeah. Now, how do you like? You said you wrote the song for your sister and things, and you've got the songs out now. Whiskey worked that way. How do you approach writing music? How do you like? Would you just have a recorder and you start singing some songs and lyrics, or do you write them down, or do you go out
It's
and
so different. For any ride I go into, it's so different. If I'm riding on my own, it's very much let go of my inner thoughts and my inner doubts
yeah,
and demons and like sit down and just write and create because I love it. But if I'm in a room in a co-write session, for example, it's switched on.
yep,
I'm in writer mode. I'm writing a narrative with music behind it, and I need to be thinking
yep,
and constantly on the mark because co-writes, sometimes you have time crunches. People have to go to an next co-write.
yep,
In Nashville especially, they're so busy over there.
yep,
So it's definitely a different kind of thing. And if I'm writing, like, for example, with my best friend Tyler Rodriguez, who's also a country artist,
yep,
our writes will take hours because we sit there and talk.
yep,
But I think it's different everywhere I go and who I write with,
yep,
and the circumstances behind it. But I'm all about just creating a good song and whatever we need to do to get there.
yep, yep. Cool. Yeah, it's amazing. Excuse me. We like to talk to artists and find out how they get to the music because creativity is if you either got it or you haven't at that time, and it's
Yeah.
sometimes writing music and writing songs or painting a picture. You've got to. It's really tricky, and it's good to know what goes on. And do you? How many instruments do you play? You said you play the piano, guitar. Do you play any others?
That's
No.
it.
Yeah.
I can play like the basic notes on a bass guitar, but it's just like the same as guitar. But
Yeah.
I would not classify myself as playing bass at all.
Yeah.
I stick to piano and I'm minor in guitar, I say, because I'm still not very good.
Yeah. Do you go out gigging?
I just know the basics.
That's right. But do you go out gigging very often?
Yeah, I gig a fair bit, but I'm trying to cut back at the moment
Yeah.
on the cover gigs and whatnot, just to like spend more time with family and
Yeah.
things that I never really, I mean, I know and I love and appreciate, but things I want to do more. I've
Yeah.
been gigging since I was 14 years old, playing in
Yeah.
pubs.
Yeah. 'Cause it
So
says,
a long time.
yeah. 'Cause I thought I read somewhere that you've been playing and writing since you were about 10.
Yeah.
That's
I've
crazy.
been,
Hey. It's right.
yeah, I started in little country music competitions and
Yeah.
musical theatre competitions, and then that slowly turned into, hey, you want to play for 45 minutes for
Yeah.
$30 at this thing?
Yeah.
And then it evolved into playing pub gigs, and then,
Yeah.
you know, here we are now, and I've got a really cool band behind me, and it's just, hopefully the journey is just going to keep
Yeah.
expanding in different doors, but it's so fun to see the opportunities.
Yeah. How did you start off? How did you know that's what you were going to do?
I don't know. I feel like I always knew, and I think my parents always knew as well. Not ironically, ironically,
Yeah.
she's the best. Taylor Swift played a huge part in my upbringing. She's also up on my wall
Yep.
over there. And I would just always like my sister and I would always just put on pretend shows that we
Yep.
were Taylor Swift. And like I think mum and dad kind of knew that we both wanted to go down that path.
Yeah.
And then they put me into singing lessons. I had started taking piano lessons when I was 4 years old. So
Yeah.
my parents, I can't take all the credit.
Yeah.
They took so much initiative with it all, and they're very big music lovers. And my dad works as an artist manager now, and
Yep.
my sister and my dad have a entertainment company, and mum works for that as well. But
Oh, wicked.
we're all just such big music fans. That's our
Yeah.
roots. Is we will go to any gig that's in our city or
Yeah.
travel. Like we are obsessed with going to live music, and I think that's what really got me into the scene as
Yeah.
well, because I was taking so much inspiration from all these people playing live music, and I was
Yeah.
like, I want to do that.
Yeah. It's great because I get invited to different venues and different places to do reviews and write ups and things. And last week, so our motto is we love music. It doesn't matter. We play pop rock and we've got pop rock country, so it doesn't really matter. We just love music. And I got invited to go to 360, who's a rap artist.
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't know rap music for the life of me. And I went there, went to the show and had the best night. It was crazy, hey. It's great. So all the different
It is
genres.
right. It's
Yep.
like that. I went to the Queensland Music Awards last week, and it felt like the Queensland
Yep.
Grammys because there were so many people of different genres there. And watching them perform, I was like, oh my gosh, there is just so much amazing music in this
Yep.
country.
With 360 though, what got me was when he first started coming out and started talking and hyping the crowd up, he did drop a couple of curse words that I would never use, and I thought, oh no, hopefully it's not going to be the whole night. But once you got into it and you feel the music and you understand the music and you know where it comes from and how it affects other people, the
Yeah,
language disappears, and then what the real music starts showing through, and sometimes you just got to
100%.
yeah. So that's with every genre of music. We'll have people say, "Oh, what do you play country music for?" So I go, have you ever listened to it? It's like it's different. It's not country and western anymore. It's country. It's
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, we've got a segment that we call "Get to Know." Are you ready for it? This is
Okay.
10 silly questions that other people you probably wouldn't get asked by anyone else ever. So,
Okay.
all
I
right,
love it. I'm
cool.
excited.
Okay, they're really simple. You're not going to get into trouble. First question.
Okay.
What do you prefer, cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs. Best cure for a
Yeah.
broken heart?
Writing songs.
Writing songs. Biggest fan, mum or dad? You might get into trouble here.
I'd probably say both. I know I can't say both, but I think it is both.
Yeah. If you couldn't do what you were doing now, what would you be doing?
A zookeeper.
Yeah. There you go. Who would have to buy the zoo?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do, but it was always a dream of mine when I was a little girl to be a zookeeper.
Get Matt Damon to build it, buy it for you. All-time favorite song?
Long Live by Taylor Swift.
Yep. Who is your celebrity crush?
Young Zac Efron.
Yep. A couple of people have said that. Hey, what is your
Yeah.
favorite food?
I love a good street taco.
Yep.
My
Right.
dad makes the best street tacos.
Cool. I've got to go cook dinner in a second. Now you've got me like wanting tacos. HJs or Maccas?
Ooh, Macca's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we continue on with the questions, with the Maccas, do you take your fries and dip them into your thick shakes?
That's the thing. That's what gets me about Macca's is I don't really like the Macca's fries, so I don't eat the Macca's fries.
Oh,
But I love a good quarter pounder or a cheeseburger.
yeah.
But I just can't eat the Macca's fries. I don't know why.
Oh.
If
no,
I'm really hungry, I will, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I reckon they do
I
the
just
best
can't.
fries. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Apple. Last question. You've got to fill in the gap. My something got me into trouble.
My sister.
That's a pretty common occurrence, that one. Especially younger
Yeah.
sisters. Younger sisters are the ones that get you into trouble. I think,
Honestly, we're pretty good though. We don't make bad decisions, so we don't really get each other in trouble. But I don't know. She was the first one I thought of because I don't
Yeah.
know. We're a goody two shoes family.
Nah, you're doing good. You're doing great, especially with the music coming out. It's good.
Oh, thank you.
So for everyone so that everyone knows that the QR code, if you scan it, it'll take you to your website.
Awesome.
So people can get on there and they can support Briana by buying merch and streaming the songs. Watch them on YouTube. Talking of that, we'll have the video at the end, which is a brand new video out. Oh, excuse me. I shouldn't have had so much apple juice. But yeah, so we'll have that at the end. So, Briana, thank you very much for joining us on Pop Rock Radio and taking time out of your evening and talking about
Oh, thank
your
you,
music.
Paul. Are you kidding? That was
Yeah.
great. I appreciate everything that was just in that interview. It was
Yeah.
seriously such a hoot. Thank you.
No, that's all right. We'll definitely have you back on the show when you release more music and keep the conversation going and do everything we can for you.
Sounds great.
Too easy.
I
Thank
love
you.
those rapid fire questions too. We have to switch them up every time.
Oh
That's
yeah,
so fun.
we've got heaps of them. Hey, yeah.
Oh, they're the best. It really gets me to know myself a bit more, even though
Yeah.
like I probably already knew them, but you just don't say it out loud, you know?
Nah. Now we've got a couple. We've got a couple in there that throw people, and I've got to revamp them because there's some there that are just getting a bit boring, a bit dry. So I'm gonna have to go and get me Sharpie out and start writing more questions down. So
Great idea.
yeah,
I'm keen for the new ones next time.
too easy. Well, thank you very much, and yeah, good luck. Hopefully it goes really good, and hopefully we'll see more of you and hear more of you on the station and on the radio.
Oh, thank you so much, Paul. Appreciate it.
No worries. Too easy. See you next time.